I entered the Shadowverse Tournament with a tier 3 deck. And you know the best part? I haven't played a single game with it before. But why would I do that? Normally, when you join a tournament, you try to play the best decks and the ones you practice a lot. So why would I shoot myself in the foot by playing a lower tier deck? Well, it has to do with the tournament format. The tournament in question was the Shadowverse Open Kickoff Preliminary 1. So maybe you've seen my last video on the subject, but the first preliminary one was a disaster. They had tons of technical issues, it started very late, it lasted for 12 hours. So to give a fair chance to everyone that couldn't finish the tournament, they reorganized another Kickoff Preliminary 1. And this time we moved from StarGG, an unstable platform for this kind of tournament, to Battlefy, one that the admins already knew. And really, big props to the admin team because this tournament ran very smoothly. It was very good. I really think they found the best solution to satisfy everyone in this situation. But let's go back to the tournament. The format was best of 1, 2 decks. This means that you play 2 decks, you get to see your opponent deck list, but you're only picking 1 deck to play. My first deck for the tournament was Spellboost Rune. So this is the best deck in the format, most people know that. It has a good matchup into Millennium Sword, which is the second best deck, and just has a lot of ways to win the game. You could push for a big board with Anangria into Norman making some golems or healing the damage of your opponents, and then drop the Quan, and back-to-back Quan can already be a lot for a lot of decks to deal with. Or then, if the game is starting to last, you have the Roller Cocytus that can pull a ton of damage cards, notably Astaroth, that creates a true OTK, in combination with Decline to play it in one turn. So the special thing about this list is that it doesn't run William, because actually, even if it's a good AoE against a lot of board decks, but actually when you play him, it's a very passive turn. You don't get to spell boost your Decline like you would want to. So instead of William, we play 3 Flames of Chaos, which is a similar role, like 80% of the time it will do the same thing or clearing the board. But because it costs less and it's a spell, you also get to play more spells, more draw, to find your Cocytus, to spell boost your Decline, and just do a lot more in a turn. And the one special deck of the list is Odin. Most people would run Edelweiss in this spot, but I found it very useful. You'll see in the games, he won a few games just by himself. So I have his best deck in the format, but now with my second deck, I wanted to cover for the bad matchups. And the bad matchups for these decks were Aggro Abyss, if you don't get an Ingria, if you don't get enough healing, you just get Streamroll too early. And Watch for Rest, because it can deal with your board, and it doesn't really matter if you will back to 20, they can set up an OTK. So the second deck I chose to run is actually this Warhaven Craft. And the idea is that it covers for all of its bad matchups, by just setting up wards with Ivor and being very annoying for Roach. But you might have seen something, is that actually this deck contains cards that you have not obtained. I don't have any Ivor, I don't have any Jan in my collection. So how can I play that? Well, when you enter SVO, you get into the tournament mode, and in this mode you can play any card in the game. You don't need to have them in your collection, you can register like whatever you want. It's just that if you don't have the cards, you probably never practice with them. And so my idea was to have Warhaven in the lineup, have people that play Aggro Abyss or Roach not really want to queue against it, because they cannot take the risk of queuing into such a bad matchup, but I'm actually never queuing Haven. I'm always queuing Spell Boost, because this is the deck I want to win with. And I could only do that because it's a best of 1 format, where I don't need to play any game with this deck. Well, of course, if I turn out to be against an Aggro Abyss Roach lineup, yeah, I would queue Haven and just discover what the deck does. But I think it's still a pretty simple deck and I wouldn't have too much trouble. Did my strategy work out in the end? Well, let's find out. Round 1. My opponent is playing Midsword and they coin the Prim into Nonja for some early board. So I just had my Children's, and this turn I decide to keep the Blast, just engage to set up the Sage Light for the AoE at 4. They know it's coming, so they don't play any more board, of course. I still have to play it anyway, because else I don't deal with the 3-3, it's going to be a lot of damage. And so game goes on, but they don't have Zirconia, which doesn't force me to evolve the Anangria. So I just drop it anyway. She's likely to survive, they just need to have Vals to deal with it, they do. But it still forces out things. I just didn't want them to be able to drop turn 5 like Zirconia back after that. So this is the perfect board for Persian to deal with. I did not draw Dimension Climb, but I have 2 Quants, so I'm looking to maybe take the board with them. And if it doesn't work, we'll just wait until no Super Evolve is left. They play the Vals, but they don't pre-evolve it, and my Flames of Chaos would have been able to deal with it anyway. But there you see the power of the card is that I get to play some more draws with Children. Whereas if I had William, I would just William pass. And I wouldn't get to see like one more draw. It's pretty important because I'm still looking for the Dimension Climb. So now I have the frequencies in hand and I'm starting to think, yeah, I need to start using them. So we go like this. There was consideration to try to draw insights. I mean, use Foresight to draw. But in the end, it's more effective to go with the other card, with the draw too. They go the on Celestial, which is a pretty good play to deny some spell boost. It turns out that it doesn't really matter in my hand because the only spell boost card is Stormy Blast, but they cannot know that. And I believe they went face, so this is really telegraphing an Albert. And I'm like, yeah, you leave 9 damage on the board. Quan is going to be 5 more, so only 14 damage. So what can we do to really optimize this? I just need to go back to 13. They are not running any Quick Blader, so I don't need to play around Albert plus Quick Blader. And so top deck command is just perfect, but I could have just like Sage Light. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Just Sage Light, and actually Angria. I think I dropped the Wind Blast. Yeah, just having the big ward, this big board, protect the 6/6 from dying, and then he has to deal with so much problems. So they have to go Gildaria, try to clear the board. But as you see, I can just go for Quanten on the next turn. And Sword isn't running any low-cost wards, so they cannot really block the 10-10 from going face. And so that's round 1 secured. It's always a good feeling to win the round 1 for me. Before we go to the next game, if you like this kind of content, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I really want to do this kind of tournament report format a thing in the future, because I'm really passionate about it, trying to explain the different lines, what goes through my mind. And also, please do tell me your feedback in the comments. Like, am I going too fast? Do I need to explain things more? Should I show the full game or less of the game? I'm really listening to your suggestions to know how to improve this format. Thank you! Round 2, and I'm actually surprised. I'm facing a mirror match, so we both have Spell Boost Rune and War Haven. And I'm just expecting to play a Spell Boost Rune mirror, because, like, War Haven has no chance into Spell Boost. They just have too many clears, too many ways to last in the late game. But actually, my opponent does queue War Haven, and they told me after the game they actually cannot stand the Rune mirror match, and I totally get it, me too. But still, you queue the matchup that is very unfavorable for you. So yeah, this game I'm just thinking, yeah, let's play safely. I did get a lot of draws with all the Cauldrons. I drew 3 of them. But then it's their turn to try to do a push. So they have the Tiger spawning. They have Grimnir. And they do choose to kill it like this. So that's a bit annoying for Angria, because now there's no PHP follower, I have to trade. But it's not that bad. You do it anyway. I cannot afford to Bergen though. And once again, I don't have a climb. But I do have a Flame of Chaos. And it's going to be very useful to try to clear the Ever turn. So let's fast forward a bit. They do have the Salefa, but very sadly, they will have to try into the Angria. So not leaving any board to threaten. I think there I just go Yellow Bergent. And I don't even evolve? Yeah, that's right. Evolves are kinda important to try to keep on dealing with the board. Especially to try to save some Flame of Chaos. It's not spell boosted yet. And there they go for Corner Ever. Do notice they did not get Wilbert, so these followers are not as big as they could be. So pretty much still in my range. But because of the Grimnir effect, they do get to clear the onions. So a bit sad, they would have been good to spell boost. So now this is the position. Time is at 6. I could technically get the full clear with double Sage Light. But then I'm out of Sigils, I'm out of this option. I won't have any healing if he like finds out, like if he sticks something on the board, I'm out of healings. So I didn't love that option. In the end, I think I just decided to go for Quan and accept that I don't trade the whole board. But they cannot jam on the next turn because they already use a coin. The worst they can do is like drop a Nova Ever or drop a Din. So as long as I'm only taking like 2 damage from maybe Grimnir going face, I'm okay with it. I do have to try with the Shikigami, but that's something that happens. you have to accept that it's not always going to storm. So they have Salefa as enter, going to be able to answer the full board. But once again, like, not dropping a huge board. And now I have to deal with one more follower with 5 HP. These two sea level raw, so I don't have Wind Blast, but that could have been relevant. And now, I think it's just a second Quan, but this time normal Evo. Yeah, went for Insight in case I can draw Dimension Climb. And there's the idea is that ideally you don't want to use the last Super Evolve because it's essential for the Cositus 30k and for Quan to push for a lot of damage in the late game. So there I just use the normal Evo that's normally dedicated to Bergent or to Anengria to finish the clearing. And I think it's a good call on me to save it, because the Onions of Bergent wouldn't have done anything with his hand. They do have the Jan. Beringer is going to attack base, that's cute. And now, ideally I would want to save Super Evolve and Quan this turn. So I think it's actually time for Sage-like Shenanigans. First drawing, of course, seeing where the random mix goes. And it goes into Jan. I top deck the Anengria, so I see that I can do it like this with Anengria, try into Bellringer, and now both are in the range of Sage Light. So clear is done. They have to answer that. They drop the Wilberts. They have to Super Evolve it, because you need to evolve it to gain the crest. So out of Super Evolve, very good news for me. And they don't even fully clear the Anengria. And now you see like the Odin really shining in this deck, because it's going to be able to banish the Wilbert, sorry. And deny the two wards respawning. So I get to deal 8 damage face this turn. Also drop the MLB for a potential draw. And now they're almost in the range of Quan. Quan would be 11 damage if it can trade. So I'm like, not yet, but I do drop the Cositus and I'm like, I'm at 14, there's no risk of dying, I can just drop it, I have a Children to try to look for draw on the next turn. Yeah, let's just go, we'll just find some damage out of the deck. Like, even if I drew like a Dimension Climb right now, I wouldn't have time to reduce it anyway, so my previous deck is basically useless. They were on Demon Thunder, so they get the clear. But now that's not too scary because a lot of the decks are very high quality now. I can just do pretty much whatever. First this, I put them at 8, now they're in range of Silent Rider OTK. They have to Odin to clear. And I do get the Silent Rider and Bellringer this time. I actually can just die to the second Sage Light. Yeah. I think the Wind Blast was not spell boosted. Yeah, I could have spell boosted it too. Even through second ward I could win this game. So yeah, just playing it safe. Round 3, this time we have a Rune Mirror, and you'll see it's not going to be the last one. And now we're in this position before my turn 4. And one of the big thing you need to do in the Mirror match is to evolve Bergent, abuse the Onions to try to trade as much as possible to get your spell boost with it, and try to deny, if possible, the Onions of the other player, but not leaving them anything to trade when it's their turn. So that's turn 4. They do have something to trade on the board, so I'm going to use this occasion to run my Onions in, just preparing the homework time to be able to play it for less spell points. I do still need to draw the Dimension Climb. They have their own Bergent, so what you see they're going to do is trade the Onions, then trade the Bergent, and then my Onion spawn, I don't get to trade into anything. So fast forward a bit, I'm going to draw some cards. I think I'm going to have to play this at a free play point. And I do choose to take the risk of overdrawing. I'm at 9 in hand, because I already have the Cositus, and I did draw the Dimension Climb. I don't need, in theory, anything more to win. Like, the coin is appreciated, but it's really the conditions to be like, okay, I can accept to overdraw. Because if you overdraw Cositus in the mirror, like, you're dead. You're pretty much dead. So you don't take that risk. So I take this occasion to develop a Norman, just check if I can actually answer it. Onions are very good to deal with the barrier, so I don't remember what I did. Yeah, classic Angria. I think I did use the Stormy Blast on the 7-7. Yeah, would make sense. Yep. So fast forward a bit. This is pretty much like the answer you have to Norman. Yeah, that's for clear. They do get something to train their unions into. They draw a bit more. And they use Flame of Chaos to deal with the board. But they didn't play anything else. No Kwon and Gria. And now the Onion spawns. But it's a bit annoying for this Kwon. I don't remember what I played. Let's see. Okay, just Angria. Continue to spell boost Dimension Climb. Force an answer. And engaging. There's a time where you don't need to engage anymore. I'm not playing the high cost Liliantium, it's called. I don't find it that useful in the mirror. But so with my kind of deck, you don't need to just engage every turn. You just need to have what you need for a Norman and a Sage Lighter AoE, and that's pretty much all. So they're in sight. And I would say that's interesting to go for Quan there. The idea is that if he kills these two, it's 4 spell boosts. If I can trade the Demonic Call, it's 6 spell boosts. The Onion is a 7 spell boost. It actually doesn't make the climb a 0 cost. Because the idea was to be able to go for Cositus and climb on turn 9 using the coin and try to deck Silent Rider for lethal. I think I did Super Evo. Yes, I did Super Evo because the idea was really to try to win on 9. But I think it's not going to work because I'm missing the spell boost. Why did I do that? I guess it's still okay in the ID. I still need to get this damage in. I had to use Super Evo on Angria to change the board, so it's not that bad. Draw last, nice. And there, so I cannot go for a coin Crusaders. Doesn't work. So the other idea is to go for Odin now. Trading this board, setting them up at 10, and then making the Crusaders lethal on the next turn. Did I do that? Or did I just go for... Okay, I went for the second ID, which is leave the board empty. So this way, even if I have Crusaders and Climb, they cannot super evolve into Astaroth and get the free OTK. But I will get the chance to do it on the next turn. So just heal to like not die to some Quan shenanigans. Because the Union, that's annoying for Quan. And turn 10, no Quan, no Cositus. We agree on playing one more turn. They heal to get out of range of some things. And so now we go for it. Cositus, 0 cozy climb. We win on Astaroth, we win on combination of the 5 cost and the 6 PP because we have the coin. And look at this visual. You did not cooperate, Crusaders. You did not do your job, man. You're a traitor. Like, even your flavor text says you're a traitor. So yeah, I'm dying to Crusaders, probably. I'm only dying to Quan triple call, and I think I made the wrong call there. Because it's actually hard to drop multiple 13-13, but I'm really scared of leaving one thing on the board, because then Crusaders afterwards will be lethal. I guess it was lethal anyway. I could have just left the 2-2. I guess the 2-2 and the combination of multiple Quants could still be lethal. So anyway, I thought it was important to kill all of this board. But what I went for is actually Norman to draw. I'm not sure why, I just wanted to have the damage for the next turn, but I wouldn't be able to fully play this turn anyway. So I think that was the wrong call. I think just Odin 13-13. Trade you free into the 2-2 was enough to win the game. Set them at 14 and then they died to Purgation Rider. So I went for this draw play and I used a Super Evolve. Trying to make a ward, trying to like limit if I only have one with no Demonic Call, they cannot go face. I just think, yeah, I just made the wrong decision there. It was not really useful and you're going to see they have Demonic Call into Quan. They're going to call again the Ancient Climb. If I draw a Quan, I'm dead. They have the OTK. I don't have the 10 PP Quan. They're going to try again. They don't draw it again, so good for me. No Cositus either. But the board is actually huge, and now there's no anything useful in my deck. I don't have my Super Evolve anymore, and I really regret using it, because just dropping 40-14, Super Evolve over this, it was done. I just Purgation on these two, and now I'm in the good spot. And so what I have to do instead is do this to clear the bodies. And my only hope is pretty much to Norman for World Guardian. And hope he has no way to double trade into this, so that the 13-14 cannot go face. But he on Cositus, he has the Onion proccing, so it was just like very unlikely to have zero answer. So yeah, I lost this game because Cositus was trolling, but I didn't exploit it as much as I could. It turns out that if I just went for the Odin line, I would have won that game. So round 4 was interesting because my opponent was on mid-range Abyss and Roach. And so I had my War Haven, I put it first to make sure that maybe they think it's my main. And they didn't use a Roach, so huge relief. Because I really don't like playing against it with my Rune. And so they have this very slow early game with Bellwinger, Minnow at 4, and I'm like, okay, I have everything I need, so I'm just going to clear the board. Eventually climb. And so, not much commentary to do on the game, I'm just going to play it at times 2 speed. Turn 5 are going to have the Aragavi to deal with Angria, but I can answer that, it's no big deal. I also get sometimes to draw more cards inside, find the second one. I did use the Demonic Call, it's cool when you can save it for easy clears. But there I was still a bit scared to overdraw the Cositus. It can go down to very long games with Abyss, so I didn't want to just overdraw it, grid that. And so, very passive turn once again, using that to draw. Most people don't run anymore the 2PP destroy something draw 2. It's just a bit too expensive. Soul Conversion in Shadowverse 1 was just way better for that. They go Medusa. I'm surprised by the Super Evo, because I'm still at 20, so the free damage shouldn't matter that much. And I think it was just a free line for Odin there. Yeah, pretty much. And so now I can even Evo, because I know that in my hand I have the Flames of Chaos that's going to be able to deal with the board. I don't need this Evolve anymore. And by putting that at 7, even if I use the Ken Gitensu to go back to 11, they are still in the range of Con this way. So I thought it was a good timing to use it. Outside of that, like Abyss doesn't really have that much healing. They're going to clear the board but not push for damage, not set up a big board for Cerberus, so once again we're just fine. Just click on the clear button board. Yeah, we have the Cositus, but it doesn't really matter anymore. Wait. They do have the ward mode, and it means that Quan isn't lethal. So I do have to clear this, and this is like the one disadvantage with Flame of Chaos, is that you actually have to count how much it's going to kill. It's going to be 9 plus 3 is 12, so I know that I don't kill one of the foxes. So what I choose to do instead is to drop a Quan, just have a bit more board, and accept to have like one fox leave. It shouldn't matter too much, they still have to deal with my board. They use the last Perigo for it. The heal is also like not relevant because they're still in my range. And so like after a few shenanigans, like we save the wins. So yeah, as I told you, they're the bad early. Their list was more optimized to beat like aggro decks or mid-sword, and really not for Rune, so easy time. Round 5, another Rune Mirror, so nothing really interesting in this one. We just played like an Angria back-to-back, a lot of draw, very classic. They did use 2 Demonic Call earlier, so I know that they're not going to be able to do a big quantity K. So there I just decided to go for the Quan, have them help me reduce the dimension shifts, and just put a bit of pressure, like ask for an answer. Let us see what they did. So they were on a William list, and as you see, like, okay, you deal with the board, but you're pretty passive, you're not boosting your shift. So this gives me an opportunity. There I think, yeah, just more draw. We do want to find Cositus still. I think I'm not going to use the Evo, just training the ward. We both don't have the Bergent effect, so we don't really care about the board there. But it was just like, we can still have Wind Blast. I don't care that much to stick about this Angria. Like, I didn't have like much hope for her to stick. So they're going for a Norman. Personally, I like to heal when I can. Just get out of Quant setups and Cositus drawing like Raider into 5 PP or double 5 PP, things like this. But they do choose to go for board. Maybe I feel this was a sign that they were not ready to decline me into TK. So I was like, okay, we just need to develop a board, force the last card in their hand, and see what happens. So yeah, just using the Evo. Third Angria, by the way, so good player. Trying like this to make sure that I get the barrier destroyed on the random. And yeah, their end has no spell boost. Flames of Chaos is clear, but for nothing. So Norman, I think I don't super evolve. I don't decline either, there's really no point. I just make a board probably and wait for them to see what they have. But I think that indeed they did not have the decline. They do the engage to make sure that they can play Con for 7 and not for 10. But then they have to use one of their Super Evos and even trade with Shikigami, so not even pushing damage. And at this point I'm like, yeah, I can deny the last spell boost. Odin, your time to shine. So, Banish Celestial. And I think I had counted the spell boost. I think we were on 17. So, no way to get the 0 PP climb into Cositus. I think I was thinking that if I go Norman, I can go for the draw 3, try to find Quan again, and just be fine. And I do find the 0 PP climb, so very good news. Turns out I don't even have to go for draw, I can just play a safe line, but just make sure I die to nothing. I think I could have gone for draw, like, just to be sure. But that's okay. They go Bergent, Anangria, and once again, no decline. So I think it was either like not spell boosted enough, drawn too late, or just they didn't have it and just tried to hope that I run out of stuff. So I do empty my entire hand, doing bad trades, just to augment the chance that I do get the Quan out of decline. And if it's not Quan, like I could still draw Cositus and just drop it normally. But I do get the Quan. And so that's going to be 16 and that's GG. So yeah, I could say I pretty much had the better hand than my opponent this time. No, nothing more. Round 6, and this time I'm going to show you the mulligan. This is what I want to talk about this game. So I keep the decline, and normally in the mirror match, you keep only draw cards. So you see me shuffle back Sage Light, Angria. Normally you want to draw into them using your normal draw. But let's just fast forward because look at this draw. It just inside, okay, but we draw the card Quan to decline. As the Odin would have been an Edelweiss, so it wouldn't really have changed much if I played another card in his space. But my opponent is just drawing, and I'm like, I do play the Flame of Chaos for 0, just to make the Monical being able to play it on the next turn. But they read me, they coin into Norman, I just have no answer to that. I need to wait for a turn for a Quan, so I just break a barrier. I don't even trust in Melvi like drawing a good answer, so even if I could draw Angry, I couldn't play it on the same turn. So they just evo him like, yeah, Quan is not enough to win that. And so now I know that I'm following 2 losses. There's 4 rounds left, and I need to win every single one of them, because at 3 losses you're out in SVO. So for the next games, the pressure is going to be high. round 6, so after the previous game I was very scared to brick again, but you see this hand, triple draw, we are fine. So let's keep a bit ahead. So I did draw double climb, so I'm very good for the game, and we have the turn 5s, 2 demonical in hands if we want to go for that. So we are very much fine. They are on a more like dirt heavy deck list. They do go for the coin Norman once again, so no Bergent, no Anangria. But yeah, Norman is just pretty much easy to clear with the Anangria that I have. Why did I not go for insight? Oh yeah, okay. Because I wanted to damage. Okay, makes sense. Once again, tac. And I think I did drop a demonic call. Even if it's good for Quan to have multiple, I was just once again like scared to overdraw Cositus. So I just go for it. And you're going to see it's going to matter a bit. Because they're playing Bergent. And they're actually not going to be able to trade it. So he'll get to make some attack phases. And normally it would not matter, but my list has Odin. So it's not impossible for me to put the opponent at 11 before turn 10. From this position, I think it was Insight, Norman, make a ward, just reinforce the board. Oh no, just Melvi, try to look for Cositus. And maybe Quan. Okay, we find the Quan, we find Cositus, so I was like, we're alright. No survival face, they can still have like a bunch of heal 4, so no point in going to like 2-2 into it. I could also just draw a second Quan and be able to survival this one, so no point doing it. Edelweiss is going to be full care for them. Once again, making some dirt. About draw Flame of Chaos is like irrelevant. And from now, I still need to boost the climb a bit. But I feel it's a pretty good timing for Norman to make a board. Let's see what I did. No, okay, just Quan and pushing the mage face, putting them at 13. And I likely... yeah, try with Shigami, just works. Some people would like keep the Quan for turn 10 and only go for Cositus if they really need to. I think if it's more like it's because you don't know what your opponent has in hand. If they have the 0 PP climb, it's just too dangerous to wait. You just want to be the very proactive player. So yeah, this is the style I try to do to go with in this mirror. A bit of weird trades, but it does work out. They're going to be able to Quan. And the fact they're dropping this random Shikigami, not keeping it, it's telling me that they don't have a second Quan, so they don't plan to go for the OTK. It also tells me that maybe they're trying to boost the Dimension Climb and try to coin Cositus on the next turn. So I'm pretty aware of that going to the next turn. And I think that to defend against coin Cositus into some raiders or things like that, I'm going to heal with either Norman and Sage Light. Let us see. So yeah, heal with Norman and probably Flame of Chaos to full clear. I do need to trade the onions unless I don't have enough. Oh no, I did have enough, I just didn't want it to be on the board for Borlock. Alright. So Demonic Call. And actually they go double Sage Lights and they try to find the Quan via Decline. So probably end with no value, but they don't find the Quan back. So they're just going to look for draw, look for things to play on next turn. And I mean, like, I have 2-0 PP climb, I'm just going to try my luck. I do have to shuffle a bit of bad things, but you're probably to draw Sarov with one climb that you shuffle back is around like 50%, and I do get it. I also had my second chance. This also opens the line of going Raider, Dimension Climb, Public Raider, so I was like pretty likely to win this game. So yeah, solid. So for this game I'm going to show you the early game. This is round 7 I believe. They have the Fieldo. We are just running Archers and Fieldo for the 2 drops, and Swallow of course. Just going to play it safe, not take too much damage, trade MLV, Stormy Blast. And they have the third Fieldo, and nothing else. But We know that the turn 4 kinda sucks for Abyss when they are going first. They didn't have any soiree. I'm like, okay. What they want to do in this position, of course, is to Sharon, revive back the Fieldo, that's guaranteed, and Evo Fieldo and just deal with what I do. So, when I see my hand, no Dimension Climb yet, but I think there's an opportunity in going with for Bergent, Evo, and not trade the Onions, because like all I would be boosting is the Flame of Chaos, which are very have time to be boosted. But now if he goes for the Fieldo play, he's going to leave Onion alive. I'm going to have it to spell boost for the next things that I'm going to draw. Well, unfortunately, I think I just have to go Angria against this board anyway. Yeah. Angria, Evo. I don't remember if I keep the Onion, that's Rush. Yeah, I just keep it for board. And I'm like, in this position, let's go back a bit. Even if you had Aragavi, that would be 7 damage, but I have 8 there. So Aragavi wouldn't be able to clear the 6-6, and there would be a ward in front of it. So this way I'm guaranteed to have the Angria survive. So I was pretty happy about this finding. Let's go back. They do drop the Undead Soldier, and it's very annoying, this guy. You need to not let the zombie sticks, because if they get to survive until the Cerberus turn, they're going to be turning into a lot of damage. So I do respect them, and I'm going to try 2 Onions into it, and use Sage Light and the Wind Blast, even if it's a big Wind Blast, just to make sure that I don't have to deal with the zombies anymore. And he was just on 1 copy, so we're all fine. Second Sharon still only has Fieldo. He never played the Skeleton, sadly. He only has Soiree right now. And like, this board isn't that scary, and I finally draw the Dimension Climb. So I'm like, okay, we just need to last for a few turns. I think... Oh, I did go for Drone or Man. Yeah, I didn't have Quan, I didn't feel confident. Did I... Oh yeah, I remember. I still wanted to full clear, because I absolutely never want to leave anything on the board. So I did coin the Demonic Call to be able to fully clear. Also, this was a good occasion to spell boost Flame of Chaos a bit. And I didn't really need to heal, so I just make a ward, like force Abyss to answer. They have to draw the Medusa. That's fine by me. And now, I do have a problem. I want a 10 PP coin for the lethal, but I cannot just Quan this turn. Because Onion and like 2 Shikigamis are going to be 6 damage. I need to absolutely kill the Medusa, else she will kill me. So I think I had to accept that I have to use the Demonic Call, and but I'm probably losing to Annihilating. Or like I'm not winning instantly on turn 10 if I have healing. I could have gone for Anangria and Teaching, but I wanted to have the healing option if they go for Odin, I guess. I guess they couldn't do that much. Yeah, maybe just Anangria and Sage Light was good enough for this play. But anyway, this is what I did. They'll do get to revive some zombies with the Sharon effect. And Quan is alive. If you're gonna get to Evo to attack face, it's great. I think I just went for Angria, Flame of Chaos, and like, you see, we don't play William, but it's like big enough. And it's really sexy to be able to go Angria, train something, and then Flame of Chaos, instead of just William that would force me to trade the Quan. And now they have like Yuzuki Kintetsu. I think I go for Quan. Because I cannot go for Kosaita, sadly, I'm missing 1 spell boost. So I think I go for Quan and just hope to get back the second card Quan. Did I do that? Let's see. Okay, I didn't get back the last Quan. But the end was good enough as a follow-up. I think it was Norman to draw, try to find another climb. Let's see. Okay, just normal draws. We do get the few damage face. Again, with Sage Light to finish the clear. This way we do get to actually kill the zombie. And no, like, that's the board. They cannot just Medusa and Medusa only trades 3 things. And they still have to super evolve the zombie if they want to get rid of the Anangria at the end. So any play that uses their super evolve I was happy with. Sadly they do have Mukan. They do get to kill a lot of things. They make 1 more ghost. So I was like, they can save the super evo. We need to kill that, but we don't have any more Sage Light, so now things are actually turning around. I do need to draw Norman. I did identify that. The draws are not great. I'm out of sigils, so I cannot just Sage Light. So I have to clear like as much as I can. Call there. Stormy Blast on the 5-1. This work time is not ready. I think I went for the healing. I knew that when Shikigami dies, this would be 1 cost, so a bit more easy to use. They dropped their Ragavi. But now they feel like the game is turning around and they go for the Super Evo. And they're at 1 HP. But normally, when you don't have a Super Evolve, your only way to draw more damage in this deck would be just Crusaders. So they're not they're safe, they need to put me on the clock. So I have 2 answers. I can top deck Odin out of the 12 cards in my deck, or I need to just draw into more clears. And I still have a 0 cost climb, I believe, in my deck. So I look for it and we do top deck the Odin. So that's 1 more game that it saves. 1 more game that it saves today. Any healing from Ginzetsu would have been out of range and would have been more difficult to deal with. But I didn't have the second one, so that's game. Round 9. We have another Spell Boost Mirror match, and now there's only 2 matches to win, 2 best of 1 to win, to get into the playoff. So the next tournament that's going to be on the next week. And nice fit sleep, by the way. So once again I get pretty scared, because my opponent is getting a lot of draws and I get nothing. Once again I use Flame of Chaos to try to make Demonic Call active. But I do get the Anangria and I'm like, okay, we can breath a bit. And this is why I wanted to show that, is that normally you would like brainlessly go into Anangria. But I draw the Unwork Time. I do have Dimension Climb. But a part of me feels that it's correct to just go Unwork Time first. Stormy Blast. That will be at 4. And I will leave no board. So Bergent wouldn't be amazing. She wouldn't get like the 2 onions trades. And he wouldn't want to wait for it. So I was like, yeah, I feel that for this time this is correct to not go Angry on 5. They drop second Angria, so okay, good player. It's a bit awkward to go for Bergent, sadly, so I have to go for my own Angria. I think I can save the Demonic Calls. I do see that once again I have 2 of them in my hand, so there is an occasion to try to go for Chronotica in this game. They have the Bergent, cleans very cleanly into Angria, classic in the matchup. I think I'm going to just, yeah, Quan. I do get the second one, so I don't need to think about holding it or not. I can just push my damage right now. I think I would have done it anyway. I think I would just have waited. I would not have waited, I would just have went for it. Do they have Flame of Chaos? I don't remember. They do. Or exactly also. So yeah, of course not going to Con again, we don't need to Super Evo. I'm just going to Bergent. I don't think I double trade and not Evo. It's a bit too late for the onions to be relevant. My climb is already almost ready. And the Evo could be useful to save the Super Evolve on turn 9. So just going to get like this. First trading, then playing the 2 damage thing. Else I would have killed it and not be able to trade. And then just smell V for curve. So they also draw. They might also be looking for Quan or Crusaders. But they leave alive the MLV. And I'm like, Maybe there's an occasion, once again, for Odin to shine. Because with Odin Evo, I put them at 11. Even if I heal for 4, I can still like go double Demonic Call and Quan. And so this is what I go for. Important, do not play the dirt. I did not need another draw, so I didn't want it to break my board. It's really cool when you can afford to not have like this extra board space that's taken when you go into Quan turns. So not playing it, they clear with a Demonic Call. They go into the Quan, so at this moment I'm scared of just dying to climb into another Quan. They go for it. They don't get it. Okay. Oh, actually, sorry. They couldn't go for it because once I use a coin, they're back to 9 play point max, so there's no way to top deck another Quan. And they were not running Odin, even if they were, that was only 18 damage. So I was at no risk of dying this game during this turn because I was at 20. So they just did that for pressure and setting somewhere to try to block my own Quan. And then I wanna go for it, but it's a bit risky because they have double ward. It's a bit hard because you cannot target this with Stormy Blast. And if I just clear, they have a second Super Evolve. If I have another Quan, I'm fucked. So I need to go for it right now. So I do go for it, even if I know that I shuffle back a lot. And the key decision was to try to trade into the Noble Shikigami. So Quan Super Evolve only 6 damage, so I wouldn't be able to finish it off. But I was like, if I trade into Unsummoning, and the only thing that I draw is Stormy Blast, I won't be able to finish this off. So I go climb, and I see my hand, I was like, okay, this is enough. This works. I can Angria, boost the Flame of Chaos a bit. That was like not the previous copy. And this way I can kill the Quan, set up the Noble in the range of my Quan, and then go for the face. So, okay, we got that one. Only one more to go. And so round 10, the final round, but my opponent is on Spell Boost Roach. I do have the Wild Haven that's still supposed to be scary, but they queued for the Roach anyway. They might be thinking that they can win that matchup, so or they read my bluff. And now I'm in this matchup that I really don't like. My hand is decent enough. I have the Sage Light in case he has early aggression. He goes for your Convocation, we're going to speed it up a bit. Really in this matchup, you respect the fairies. If they get some damage face and you don't have the time to heal them, you're going to get early kill by Roach. So I just Stormy Blast as soon as possible. I don't get a lot of values anyway in this matchup. The best targets are like Glade. They were on the one-off Working Grasshopper, but this was on combo 1, so it added pretty much May for granted. It doesn't add Roach. So I'm like, okay, this is not that scary, I can go for my draw. They bounce it, and they play it again, so that's telling me they have a brick. They don't have any fairy generators, they don't have the amulets to give 0 cost. They're just trying to look for things to play. So I'm like, okay, there's an occasion. I don't have any of my 5 play points, so I'm going to still look for them, try to draw. And keeping the coin, I have the option to go for Norman the next turn. So, for Convocation, they drop the May that they tutored, and pass. They keep the Fairies for a potential combo. So at this point I'm thinking, yeah, their end is a lot of high costs. Probably Limaga, probably some, I think it's Bale, the one that has his cost reduced. And I top deck the Bergent. It's not bad in this position. Why did I go for? Okay, I went for Bergents because I really like the Evo against Forest because you get to deal with the 1/1s like for free on every turn. And normally it would be a lot of effort to deal with them. I still use a coin, I think I was once again thinking that if I Norman Evo, I get rid of the dirt on my board, so I'm not board lock anymore. And so, yeah, I didn't engage. Probably a good call. We go for Lily, so that was probably the 2 costs that I tutored. And evolving to probably just get the extra draw. Normally they wouldn't need to, so that's really because they needed the draw. No Godwood, so it's also a good time for me. And now, this is the key of the matchup. You're not winning on turn 10, they're winning on turn 10. So you need to drop a big board, and either force them to use their composite pieces on your board, or just not be able to answer it and win through that. So, no time for Norman, we just coin into Quan. Like, no thinking needed. Get the clean trade on Lily, clean trade on the Fairy, and now they have to answer this. They have the Glade, but 9 damage is not a full clear, it's not ideal. They have this, but without a combo, they chose to keep a Fairy, I guess. I don't know why they chose to keep a Fairy instead of going for a full clear. But anyway, that's good for me. Because this is alive. And once again, there is an occasion to go for the face. So Onion Trade is a no-brainer. I think I didn't go for Odin immediately. I probably went Norman Evo, right? No, I went on Angria. What was the idea? Oh yeah, I just wanted to make sure that climb was as low as possible. Because there's an occasion to go Odin into climb, into Quan 7 PP, and try to steal the game like that. So I just went angry MLV, enable that play. I was a bit scared to Evo because if I have the second Glade, I will need to probably Evo to answer it. And I was like, I prefer to keep my Evo for Norman and my Super Evo for Quan. They have to go for Garden Error. They finally get some amulets. Use Super Evo to clear. Second amulet. But they overdraw the 0 costs. And they leave so much board. I was like, yes, yes. They didn't go like double fairy to trade the 3-2. So Odin, Super Evo, exactly full. That's 12. We're qualified. We're in the playoff. Let's go. And I didn't play a single game with Warhaven of the day. Just 10 games with Rune. Only losing mirror match, 2 brick, Cositus trolling. Really managed to find the plays in all of our matches. So yeah, I popped off alone in my room. So yeah, guys, that was the tournament. I hope you enjoyed the video. Next thing coming is next week, the playoff. I will make sure to make a review of my games. And I'll try to stick to it, like whether I win, whether I lose. Just try to make this kind of video. Not only is productive for me to watch the games, it's also good content for you. I hope that you enjoy like this kind of deep thinking of what I was thinking about, what are the key points of the matchup, really trying to pass that knowledge. And yeah, I just get to see you in the next week. Root for me if you want. I don't know if there's going to be a stream for playoff. There's definitely going to be one for finals. I hope to get into the top 8. And yeah, we'll just do our best. Probably sticking to Rune, and then we'll see like what deck I can actually play as second deck. Because yeah, I'm not going to play Warhaven, I promise you. So yeah, thank you. Like and subscribe if you liked. Tell me in the comments some feedback on this format, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.